amazing episode of Adventures in Entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Jared. This is Captain Clay. And this one's kind of an off-the-cuff episode here in that before the taping of this, Clay and I were having a conversation about marriage. I'm soon to be getting married. Clay has been married now for
10 years.
10 years.
Wow.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And so you wanted to talk a little bit here about how your marriage plays into your business.
Well, I think if you're watching this and you're not yet married, it's absolutely critical that you watch this episode and take some really good notes. If you're not yet married, if you are married, take some notes, but kind of put little cross out things I say occasionally because they might not be as applicable. But if you're not yet married, I think it's super important that you write down on a sheet of paper tonight specifically what you want to get out of your life in terms of goals you want to reach. And they don't have to be financial. It can be, I want to go on a missions trip, I want to start a successful business, I want to travel once a month, I want to spend time with my kids, I want to have a house of this size, I want to live in this state. But make it as specific as possible. Get those goals out there. Have your fiance, lady friend, or if you don't have a lady friend or fiance, that's okay too, but if you do have a fiance, have her write down these things that she wants to do here. Write that before you actually say I do. She's got her list, you got your list. It's a double-blind study. You face this way, she faces this way. No cheating, no talking, no sharing. Write them down. And if you're not yet engaged, just write down your goals. And then whenever you meet somebody and the prospect of marriage comes into play, you need to make sure that that person is down with those goals, that they're okay with that. Because so much of dating is about infatuation and I think she's hot, I think he's handsome, she's hot and I'm handsome, and then we make out, now we're infatuated, now we're getting married. And that doesn't matter really after about 6 minutes of marriage. You know what I mean? Because people want what they can't have, and after you you no longer are super excited about that as much, okay? But it's important that you know where you're both going in life. Because once you know where you're both going, you can have that real conversation and say, hey, you want to go here, I want to go here, how can we find synergy and help each other get there? Because if you're marrying somebody who's not committed to going where you're going, it's rough. There's that phrase, was it, he who finds a good wife finds a good thing. Finds a good thing. I like to make it rhyme, so finds a good life. And but the thing is that it's just absolutely important. That's how I remember things. But it's really important that you make sure that you talk about this with your spouse, where you're going. Now, if you're married and you make a list tonight of where you want to go, and your spouse makes a list of where they want to go, and they're not compatible at all, this is a problem. So you're going to have to, at this point, decide, what am I not going to accomplish in my life ever, and I'm okay with that? And what is she not going to accomplish ever, and she's okay with that? And I'll give you one example. My wife wanted to be a broadcast journalist, meaning she wanted to be on the news, a news anchor kind of thing. She interned, and part of her also wanted to be a mom. Well, part of being a news anchor, if you're in the news industry, you realize you have to be looking great all the time. Sometimes Botox, they even ask you to, want you to do Botox, they want you to tan all the time, have your teeth redone. It's a constant weight loss, you're drinking water and eating water, that's all you get to have is water. And, my wife realized, what, I want to be a mom. I don't like this industry. So she had to be okay with losing these goals in order to achieve these goals as husband and wife. Now, if my wife, before we were married, would have said, I want to be a broadcast journalist, and that's what I want to do with my life. And if I marry somebody, they have to understand they're going to move all the time. I would have done that. And we actually had that discussion. I said, I'd be happy to move every year to a bigger, minor, or major market so that we can grow your broadcast journalism career. But you have to do that, because some of you guys right now watching this are married to somebody or are dating somebody, and you're going totally different ways, but you've never taken the time to write it down. So right now, my wife's working on a book, and I'm totally committed to helping her achieve that book, get the book started. And she knows that I totally want to get 30 businesses started, operational, and profitable in the next 5 years. She knows that. She knows that's what I'm doing. So she knows what I'm doing. I know what she's doing. I encourage her. She encourages me. It's good stuff.
Wow. That's fantastic. So talking about the importance of the goals together as husband and wife,
yeah.
As we send them off here, Clay, why don't you go ahead and give us a 30-second recap here?
I just think it's absolutely important that I can't stress how important, there's people I know that are married to somebody who totally does not encourage them. Now, I believe instead of judging people for what they the action they don't show, it's better for you to kind of lead the way first, kind of create the momentum. So if your wife's not encouraging you, I think you should encourage her. You know, so if your wife's like, I don't like the idea of you starting your own business, or I don't like the idea that you have a business, encourage her in one area. Maybe she's trying to get in shape. Maybe she wants to start a business too. Maybe she, has something she's wanting to do, a hobby or something. Encourage her that she can do it. And then she'll respond kind of with us in the spirit of reciprocity. And she'll respond and go, hey, you also can do it. And you encourage each other. But you need to create your own momentum in your own marriage. So if you're watching this and your wife's not encouraging you, you need to start by encouraging her, and it'll happen. But you also need to know where you're going, because you can't encourage somebody to get to a finish line if you don't know where the end is. So it's just really absolutely important. Make a list of what you want to do, have her make a list of what you want to do, and get on it today, my friends.
There you have it. Any questions, comments, or concerns, post them on the Facebook page, YouTube channel. As always, email Clay at clay@makeyourlifeepic.com. We'll see you next time.
Added tip, don't get a tattoo on your neck.